Today on CCX News, home listings increase. Why higher interest rates haven't stopped home buyers. Chalk it up to pent-up demand. The housing market continues to show positive signs. We checked out the local market, which shows listings increasing throughout the northwest suburbs. Plymouth, Maple Grove, and especially Brooklyn Park saw more homes pop up for sale. But supply levels are still too low for prices to fall. The Twin Cities median sale price rose nearly 3% to $366,000 for the month of March. The MSP Home Tour returns this weekend, featuring 21 homes that showcase the latest remodeling trends. One of them is in Golden Valley. Sarah Allen takes us inside this mid-century style home redesigned to make a better use of space.
It was our drop zone. Everybody, coming in off the garage, everybody would drop their, shoes, skis, boots, golf clubs, all of that. And then you could just see everybody driving by could see right in.
When Laura Ronlund and her family moved into their Golden Valley house 14 years ago, they knew it needed some work before it could become the home of their dreams.
From the moment we moved into the house, we knew that it had a ton of potential, but it wasn't quite there.
So when they started construction last fall, they were more than ready to turn their dreams into reality.
In one day's time, this whole end of the house was like completely demoed, and it was amazing.
In the kitchen, counter seating and storage were added.
So this was just a plain wall before. We had a desk with a computer on it.
And soffits were removed.
The biggest change was getting rid of all the soffits and opening it up so that we now have like high ceilings all the way throughout.
The remodel continued to the entryway.
This was one big open giant space. We had windows on 3 of the 4 sides of the room.
The area was sectioned off to 3 separate areas: a mudroom, equipment area, and entryway.
I feel like our house makes sense now.
Even though the transformation was significant, the Ronlunds worked with an interior designer to keep elements of their mid-century home intact. They even found a way to nod to the home's history.
Our slat wall on the island there, that was like an accent piece that we designed to kind of try to pull in the original parquet flooring in the dining room.
The Ronlunds home is one of 2 mid-century homes featured on the MSP Home Tour.
We covered the full bases, and we actually have an ADU, an accessory dwelling unit, and we have a new build over in St. Paul as well.
The goal is to make the tour a learning experience.
The homeowners are going to be available during the tour, and so attendees can ask the tough questions. How was the process, and did you have plaster dust everywhere? And really get a feel for what the remodel looked like.
After their experience, the Ronlunds are now ready for more.
We would absolutely do it again. I'm already planning our next project, so.
In Golden Valley, Sarah Allen, CCX News.
You can tour homes Saturday and Sunday from 11 to 5. The tour is free. A policing pilot program that sends social workers and paramedics to mental health calls in Brooklyn Park is showing signs that it's working.
Just getting this program up and running to the point that it is right now has been a monumental task. So it would really be kind of a sting if the program was pulled back. And the good news is we have a lot of data that's coming in that's showing that the program seems to be very impactful.
The alternative response team was announced about a year ago. The pilot program was originally scheduled to run through the end of this year. It's now been extended through 2026. Brooklyn Park police officials say they've seen a decrease in mental health calls for the first time in years.
I'm not ready to make a causal connection there, but there's definitely some correlation between the work this team is doing and the decrease in those calls in our community.
Brooklyn Park police are also hoping to extend the program's operating hours. The Plymouth City Council approved plans this week for a major project impacting the city's downtown. The council ordered improvements to Plymouth Boulevard between Rockford Road and Highway 55. The city center's main thoroughfare will undergo a variety of changes. The pavement will be repaired. Roundabouts will also be added at 4 intersections, including one by City Hall. In addition, a new 12-foot trail will be constructed on the east side of Plymouth Boulevard. The project will begin later this spring, and it will be mostly completed by fall. An Osseo elementary school class is giving some kids a hands-on look at the trades. In today's School Spotlight, we meet urban boat builders and see their impact. On a sunny April morning, it's an unconventional recess at Birch Grove Elementary. Today, they're playing with longboards of their own design.
the nails will help just keep the truck secure in place. So that's what we're doing today. And then we'll go and ride it later.
The project is facilitated by Twin Cities-based Urban Boat Builders.
How's it coming?
Program coordinator Brianna Osland says this gives kids the chance to try the woodworking trade early on.
I'll help you line it up. Okay. There you go.
Leaders are helping Birch Grove fifth graders, paired with Breck School junior and senior volunteers, build these boards of their own.
These will hold it really secure.
The 30-hour project gave students plenty of time to get a hang of the power tools.
At first, I see the hesitancy in their eyes when they see a tool for the first time, especially students that have never picked up a power tool.
The students' confidence was on full display in their final session.
Look at you, you're amazing.
The class's education support
Me
professional,
too.
Sue Reddy, says the progress is impressive.
They've sanded it on their own, they've shaped it on their own, they've designed it by themselves, and that to me was amazing to see.
Plus, in Essential Art School fashion, each board is decorated with a unique design.
It's a volcano of exploding candy.
The final session in April gave kids a chance to test out their handiwork and get their footing on a new hobby.
They get to expand it into having a longboard and then be able to keep it forever and being able to actually utilize it. That's amazing to me.
Urban Boat Builders partners with a number of groups to teach kids woodworking skills.
An Osseo native made his mark on a world stage in the sport of boxing. Now Caleb Truax has announced he's hanging up the gloves. Jay Wilcox has the story.
As Caleb Truax and many others have said, Father Time is a tough opponent. Truax announced his retirement from boxing Wednesday at age 40.
It's time to hang up the gloves. I'm a little bit too old and gained a little bit too much weight in my last 6 months. So no, I'm ready to be done. I've had a fantastic career. I'm very grateful for all my career and all the relationships I've made over those 20 past years and 16 and a half years as a pro and 40 fights. I'm ready to do something and make some money without getting punched in the face.
Caleb started boxing late at age 20 and really didn't expect that his career would take him to the heights he reached, including beating James DeGale to win the IBF World Super Middleweight title.
That's the pinnacle of boxing, and everyone dreams about being a world champion as soon as they strap on a pair of gloves and get into a gym. So that was the highlight of my career. I've had lots of highlights and some lowlights too, but turned pro in 2007, and I was just doing it because it was fun, and figured I'd have to get a real job down the way eventually, and 16 and a half years later, now it's time to get a real job. But no, world champion, and I had 4 belts total, one of them being the IBF World Championship that I won in 2017, and that was only one of 4 people ever from Minnesota to ever win a title belt like that. So just grateful for the success I had.
Truax is getting into the real estate business, but hopes to stay around boxing too.
I want to stay involved as much as possible throughout my life. You know, Minnesota boxing is what kind of made me who I am, and the community has been super supportive. All the fans have been super supportive throughout my whole career.
From an Osseo High School baseball and football player to a world champion boxer. Well done, Caleb Truax. Jay Wilcox, CCX Sports.
You can see our full interview with Truax on our website, ccxmedia.org. The Osseo baseball team is off to a good start this spring. The Orioles look to stay atop the Northwest Suburban Conference standings when they hosted Totino-Grace. The Eagles coming into this conference game with a 1-5 overall record. The Orioles 4-1. Scoreless in the bottom of the third inning when Osseo's Braden Hay grounds a single back up the middle. Jordan Savoravon comes around to score from second base. It's 1-0 Orioles through 3. Same score in the 5th when Totino's Matthew Gallitzer gets a hold of one and drives it deep to left and out for a 2-run homer. The Eagles take the lead 2-1. Orioles tie it in the bottom of the 5th. Savoravon leaks a grounder past third base and into left field for a single. Martin Wolkerstofer trots home from third base to score, and it's a 2-2 game. And Osseo scores the final and game-winning run later in the inning. Gavin Sheska lines a single into left field. Savoravon comes in to score as Osseo wins 3-2. Armstrong baseball is 4-3 on the season so far. All of the Falcons' wins have been tightly contested. Armstrong was back at home on Tuesday facing Andover. Chaz Moots has highlights.
Both the Falcons and Huskies hoping to shake off losses from the weekend. First inning, Andover got hot early. Wyatt Myers just kept the ball fair down the third baseline. Anthony Pardo scores. The Huskies went up 3-0 after one. Bottom of the frame, Armstrong with bases juice. Tanner Rausch hard hit liner to right. 1 run scores, but the relay is in time. Law tags out AJ Kubabek to end the inning. The Falcons kept chipping away those second inning. Luke Wisejohn's grounder gets through. Dawson Franke crosses home. Armstrong cuts it to 3-2. It was back and forth for much of the game. Jump to the 7th. Huskies up 5-3, make it 6-3 after Teddy Heller connects on an RBI single. Armstrong needed 3 runs to tie in the 7th. They got the tying run at the plate. Franke hits a sac fly to right. Gideon Brecker scores, but that's as close as the Falcons would get. The next 2 batters strike out. Andover knocks off Armstrong on the road 6-4. In Plymouth, Chaz Moots, CCX Sports.